Hello, I'm Mark Schaldhausen. Because things on the internet seem loose, or date references pretty easily. Today is Sunday, October 20th, 2024. On Monday, October 1st, 2024, we went through the Georgetown Loop Railroad in Georgetown, Colorado, which is about an hour west of Denver on the I-70. And we had scheduled ourselves for a train ride to see colors through the mountains as the seasons changed into fall, and rail fans. And we had a ball. This was a really good train ride, really good staff and crew, with the exception of one guy, and really well maintained equipment. And what you do is you ride from Devil's Gate in Georgetown, and Georgetown's all one word. You ride from Devil's Gate in Georgetown, Colorado, to Silver Plume on the other end of the Georgetown Loop Railroad. There's a museum there, barn, to visit, look around, and then come back down to Devil's Gate, which is Georgetown again. And it's a really nice train ride. You're paralleling the I-70 the entire way, and you'll see it several times in the video. Really nice train ride. Kid friendly. They're setting up for Halloween and for Christmas. There's skeletons and candy canes along the railway as you go. The way I set this up is you're going to get a lot of the video from the train ride itself. So let's get on with it. This was fun and is kid friendly. Going to start the photo portion of this video with kind of a laugh, because this photo was taken actually as we were leaving Georgetown, but it's welcome to historic Georgetown, Colorado, and the trains. And from here we move on to our tickets for the rail ride and some signs up on the interstate I-70 going from Denver into Utah. And this is actually beautiful country. It's a relatively small town. We're going to show you some photos of the town towards the end of the video. And also the train was running Georgetown Loop was running a Halloween train series at the time, so they were set up for Halloween, and we'll show you that too. That overpass bridge is absolutely massive. When you get to the Silver Plume portion of the museum of the Georgetown Loop, you'll see some signage on that bridge's reconstruction. And there's a number of panels around it. There's two stations. You have the Georgetown Loop's Devil's Gate station on the east side, and then you have Silver Plume on the west side. My understanding is you can get to have access to each of them off of I-70. The trains we're running on only left, you could only get tickets at Devil's Gate, which is where we started this trip. This is in mining country, about an hour west of Denver on the I-70, and these are some of the pictures of the beautiful mountain terrain as you roll through these. From here on out, what I'm going to do is pretty much let the video that we took on the train ride run by itself.
Not or complete the loop, which this railroad was named for. Now, a few fun facts about our bridge as we prepare to cross underneath it. This is an exact near replica of the original bridge, built in wires of 1883 and 1884, at a cost of $250,000. When this bridge was sold for scrap in 1939, it only sold for a mere $650. This new bridge was built 100 years later after the original one in the summers of 1983 and 1984, at a cost of $1 million. thanks to a donation from the Becher Foundation. Well, like the original bridge, which was built out of cast and wrought iron, this new bridge is built out of high-grade steel and concrete. It's actually 5 times stronger than that original bridge, which is a good thing, because the old timers on the old railroad would report the old bridge and would sway from side to side and sag in the middle as trains went over it. I can reassure everybody on board the train when we go over this bridge, it does not sway as much. I'm just kidding, guys. If this bridge swayed any, I would not be on board the train right now. Now I'm going to step off the microphone. Now you guys can enjoy the sights and sounds of Clear Creek Valley. But I do have one request for everybody on the up.
All right, with that, folks, tickets, please, everybody.
See our car right there. See our car right there. what? Parallel to US 50, right? The loneliest road in America. I-70 up there in the background. This is a train ride through hunting, backpacking, camping country, beautiful mountain country, and how quick things happen. The train had just passed over this point, and a guy is already on the rails, crossing the rails. The other part of this is, if you look, there's 3 rails in this particular area of the layout, and you put that third, that middle rail, the one that's not shiny, in areas where it increases the probability of a derailment, and that is to reduce the severity or reduce the probability of a derailment. So you'll see this in areas where you have sensitive track for derailment, like on the overpass.
starting out at Silver Plume Yard and Depot. Built the trains did over 140 years ago. We're going to take a quick break up here and take 111 up to our water tower for a little 500-gallon drink of water. That's right, folks. Coming up this hill alone, at 111 has consumed 500 gallons of water to make her steam. Now, while we're stopped up here, we'll be dropping the ramp so you folks can step off and take a quick look around. Here in the Silver Plume, we do have a gift shop inside of our historic 1884 Silver Plume Depot. We also have a historic rail from 58 feet above sea level.
Get in there, there's some neat cars.
I have this Silver Plume Museum area at the end of the video. Let's go back to riding the train.
So for downhill trip, we'll have 111 on the east end of our train, and we're still pull our train and go into reverse, and then we'll run her back around to the west end of our train, and we'll pull our train going forward. Now the railroad is going to be riding on today is the Marine Circuit Forces, the old Georgetown Loop Railroad, for short. The first mountain railroad in this area was Colorado and Central Railroad. It began construction down in Denver in 1870 and came out west following Clear Creek through the towns of Arvada and Idaho Springs. Finally reached Georgetown in 1877. CPD and Elvis then backwards to Baldwin line west through the Continental Divide and then dropping down to the rich mining towns of Baldwin and Redville. However, this track early on, they turned to the CPD and Elvis and the Denver South Park Pacific. As time went on, these two railroads would eventually merge together into one railroad as long as the Colorado and Southern. Now we know that this line will carry a Colorado band until 1939. Although this railroad was just a southern branch line from Denver, the miners and their families would flies up to the rich silver gold ore back to Denver to be built in process.
Silencing the video audio for a bit. To explain this, the cars are pulled by the Baldwin steam engine up to Silver Plume. The steam engine is then given additional water because it uses more water than oil, and then it comes on a bypass rail, comes back around. There's not enough room to turn the engine around, so the engine takes the back of what was the passenger consist, and now we're being pulled downhill with the engine in reverse.
line track will be on the 4% rate. This means for every 100 feet of forward travel, it's dropped 4 feet in elevation. From a human perspective, the current of cab of 111 should be about 12 feet lower in elevation, but the last factor are on our train. Narrowing lines also means the road bed has to be narrow, not covered by the field of bolts for passing through. We're all built out pack forward, central movement, and black power explosive. And it's lots of things you can call them anyway handle by working. But really think about the honest of fighting the field and running away for dear life. While forward pulling the ball from agile, most children. We're high about a railroad, very often they go fast. They tell the natural speed of going, and the electric wheels on the line, or down, not upon road. So I'm just looking over through the falls that way down the mountainside. As we come up our bridge, it won't be any stuck here on the mountainside. We're up on either side of the curve of the bridge, and on the cane walls on either side. Walls were built 120 years ago, and by the corner of the wall paint from the Big Valley, here's the method called dry stacking. This means there's an order of business between the walls together, they're all run by the same guy as a fellow. The first step was to the utility of these branches. Now on the right-hand side of our train, as you can see, this diesel electric locomotive number 21, also set the rest of our rolling stock equipment, and the run there range of the old install ranch, the powered air compressor. The power to all the air flow units here inside the hall tunnel. Now it's not clear on how many tons of silver ore you have in mind, so you take the charcoal, now that's the reason. Maybe blow it in between your fingers just a little bit. This then you'll start to realize that you're actually feeling a little bolder. Yeah, I heard all the moans and groans on that one, but don't worry, like our train, these shows only go downhill from here. This bridge is 300 feet across, and although it might look level, we're actually on a grade of 2%. Meaning the side that we start out on is 6 feet higher in elevation, especially the side where we come off at. It also curves in at 18.5 degrees. All over the bridges of this size and length will go different levels to help retain structural integrity. You on board the train with that zero pipe, so look down, here in the middle of our bridge, we're 100 feet above clear street and 75 feet above the lower level of track. Off on the right-hand side of our train, you can see the town of Georgetown, which has the highest per capita here in the United States, a Victoria-era built building and home. On today's train is the Georgetown Loop Railroad, number 1. Built by the Baldwin locomotive in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the name of the 1966 locomotive 13 years old. 111 is known as a Q80 consolidation type oil-fired steam locomotive. She began her career on the International Railways of Central America, down in Guatemala and El Salvador, hauling sugarcane and bananas and the occasional passenger train. She made her way back to the United States in 1973. We'll have a stroke lines and from our people up there. So it's hard for us to get down here. We get 3.5 miles of track. We'll set the elevation by about 563 feet. Well, it's just one mile from, but don't worry, believe any of them on board. So they'll do their job on the railroad so much, they don't want to come back home. Before sort of station, I do want to ask everybody once again, make sure you've got your dedicated button to take down. I'll start to stop for a little bump, and I don't want to see any of the guys falling on their faces today. I'll let everybody know when it's 6 March when I say the ramps are down and the brakes are set. With all that being said, you're welcome back to Silver Plume Station in Georgetown, Colorado.
So they're now going to uncouple the locomotive from what was the back of the train as they, or the front of the train, however you want to phrase it, as they pulled it down from Silver Plume and take it down to the turnout and bring it back up on the bypass rail and then connect it back to the other end of the passenger consist so that it can pull the cars up the run to Silver Plume. Look at the ground, because steam engines need to be lubricated constantly. There's a lot of moving parts here. The ground is covered, soaked in oil, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. This is part of the legacy of steam engines, lubrication. Some still shots of our train ride. I mean, you always love watching a still photo of trees in a forest, especially if you're on a train ride. My understanding was this pickup truck and this individual that was standing here was actually part of the Georgetown Loop staff. He was there just in case something was happening, but he checked everything and made sure the crossing was safe and whatever else. Really beautiful country through this. A number of things off on the side that the Georgetown Loop people had put there. And if you look at the one still photo of the coupling, the pin holding the jaws of the coupling together is down. And if you go back to where the train uncoupled, you raise that pin and allows the jaws to move the way a coupling works. Beautiful mountains. I really like the scenery through here, and quite a bit of history. And then we're at Silver Plume and the museum. As we cruise through this, Silver Plume is where the rolling stock is housed, maintained, and kept, and this is where what they refer to as their museum or their exposition. And there is one building you can walk into, and there's a number of items on display here. I walked up and took some pictures of our Baldwin steam engine that was being watered. Remember, steam engines actually boil off more water than fuel burned. And I think this is a oil burner. I wasn't sure, but I think it's an oil burner. It's a beautiful engine. It's well maintained. The boilerplate, which I love these, that's what I understand they're called, indicates that this Baldwin was number 59,164, and it was built in 1926, with the exception of one guy who did not want me to take one step to the left to take a better photo, which there was nothing else around. It was an open sidewalk, but obviously that was his checkpoint. And there was no statement there. I found the staff, the presenters of the railroad, to be extremely courteous. A Plymouth gasoline-powered locomotive. I'd never seen one, never heard of one before. So there was one on display, and it's an interesting presentation. And this Plymouth is no association with the Chrysler Dodge Plymouth series. This is Plymouth, Ohio, and that's available on the internet. If you search Plymouth gas locomotives, you'll find interesting stuff on this. There were several different rail cars in the barn. Most of them were undergoing repairs, maintenance of some sort. Kids were running around, and I mean, the museum is made for that, so I tried not to get in their way. I thought the restoration work that was done on these was done really, really well, so they do appreciate the items that they are presenting. I did like their signage, and it was non-reflective. If you've watched some of the other videos, I seem to have a problem with that. It was non-reflective and it was informative. From here on out, I'm going to show you some other things associated with Silver Plume. As you're coming up on I-70, there's some signage for it, and you can see it from the I-70. It's not a very big complex, not a very big facility, but you can see it from the I-70. As we did the opening on the entrances, you saw the creek and that runs through the Devil's Gate station, and that parallels most of the Georgetown Loop Railroad, and these panels kind of explained it. They were very informative. In the Silver Plume Museum at the top of the run was this article, these panels about reconstruction of the bridge, and the guy mentioned it that it costs like $50,000 or $500,000, some unbelievably low amount of money in our references today when it was built, and then $1 million when it was later repaired and reconstructed. Check the homepage for dates and times and events, because evidently the railroad does run special purpose, special theme trains. They were getting ready for a pumpkin type run train. There was obviously Christmas ornamentation along the track. Not sure what time frames those are stay up, if they stay up all year or just if they're seasonal. But this is the some of the shots of the Devil's Gate area associated with their Halloween train. From here, we're going to leave the Georgetown Loop Railroad and go over and tour Georgetown. Georgetown is cut into the side of the mountains, and it is rather small. Most of the buildings seem to be very old, i.e. turn of the 20th century, the early 1900s. There's a number of signage around. Most of the Main Street facilities that we crossed, that we walked in front of or into, were stores primarily focused on tourism and selling knickknacks and whatever else. And we did buy a couple. One of them, I found a T-Rex cup, which if I have a photo of it, I'll show you. And I had to buy it because, being Dinosaur Daddy, Rex, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, that was kind of cute. And my wife is 50% Lithuanian, and we found a store that sold handmade products from Lithuania, so we had to buy something. Hotel del Paris was closed, locked up. It looked like it might not even be an active center. It looked like it might have been a antique store at one time. On the internet, the Georgetown steam hydro generating plant was listed as, I think it said it was open 7 days a week. We went over there, it was locked up, has a number to called, and the guy says, oh, we don't have anybody come over and open it today, sorry. So we didn't get to see it, disappointed just a little bit. We took a couple of photos. My wife loves Harry Potter, so this witch's house, no broomstick riding inside the house. If you open a portal, please close it, whatever, was kind of cute, and my wife got a kick out of it. As we close this video out, one thing at the end of the video before I forget, and we've seen this in other places, and I think I've posted some pictures of them, are bare wildlife resistant trash cans. You have to flip a latch, get your hand inside, close a latch, flip a latch to get it open or something like that. And those were in several locations around Georgetown, Colorado. It's a beautiful little town, quaint. I can't say it's fully furnished. There is a gas station there, and as you leave, there's a right by the turnoff from I-70, there's a couple of much more modern buildings and possibly housing. We enjoyed it. We toured the town for probably an hour and a half. I think we were at the railroad for about 3 hours total, and so it was about a 4 to 4.5 hour stopover as we were driving from Denver to Grand Junction, Colorado. It was a nice stop. It is kids friendly. I would bring your own food. I have food allergies, so I would bring your own food. We always pack for me. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in another one. This was an enjoyable stop.
Look down. Here in the middle of our bridge, we're 100 feet above Clear Creek and 75 feet above the lower level of track. Off on the right-hand side of our train, you can see the town of Georgetown, which has the highest per capita here in the United States, a Victoria-era building and home. On today's train is the Georgetown Loop Railroad, number 1. Consolidation type oil-fired steam locomotive. She began her career on the International Railways of Central America, down in Guatemala and El Salvador. Hauling sugarcane and bananas and the occasional passenger train. She made her way back to the United States in 1973